What's going on, Who That Nation? It is your truly TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And welcome to the State of the Saints podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you all for tuning in for the pregame show of the Week 10 matchup. The New Orleans Saints will be taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And this game is going to be a really good game. Anytime the Saints play the 49ers, it always seems to be an interesting game. Over the past decade, I was going back and looking back and looking at the Saints versus 49ers. To me, there's probably only been like maybe one blowout, and that was, I think it was 2015, no, 2016. It was Michael Thomas's rookie season, and the Saints dominated the 49ers. But besides that, these games are always interesting. But the Saints coming off one of the biggest wins in team history, complete domination of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know they got to be riding high. You know they got to be excited. Nobody in the NFL gave the Saints a chance. Nobody really thought that the Saints were going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were leaps and bounds better than the Saints. And the Saints on national television dominated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and quieted the critics. Even had people backtracking, moonwalking, and even in their feelings about being wrong. But this isn't one of those games, Who That Nation. This isn't one of those games where nobody expects the New Orleans Saints to lose, okay? Everybody expects the Saints to win this game. And I would like to introduce you all to something I like to call the trap game. That's right. This can easily be a trap game. This is one of those games where if you're not careful, the San Francisco 49ers can beat the New Orleans Saints. And I know you start looking across the board. You start looking at who's not playing. Solomon Thomas out for the season. Nick Bosa out for the season. Richard Sherman, he was been hurt throughout the season. He's going to play today. George Kittle is not going to play in this game. Jimmy Garoppolo is not playing. Mostert, all these different starters that they have. But I want to let you all know that there's a coach on the other side of the football that's not named Sean Payton, named Kyle Shanahan, who is a really good offensive play caller and an offensive innovator, just like Sean Payton is. These guys battle wits all the time. Since the days of Kyle Shanahan being in that for the offensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons, this could easily be one of those games where we're kicking our laundry or we're throwing something at the television set because the Saints aren't getting it done. So the Saints better be focused. They better be dialed in. And I don't want it to be one of those games where everybody's picking you to lose. So all of a sudden you play motivated. I feel like you should have that same energy going up against the San Francisco 49ers. You shouldn't play around with these guys. You shouldn't be joking around, kidding around with these guys just because you think that these guys are, down and out. Like this is a prideful football team that will beat you if you give them an opportunity to do so. And not to mention Nick Mullins, man. Nick Mullins, who played at Southern Miss. Everybody knows about, Southern Miss. If you're from, Louisiana, Hattiesburg is not that far from New Orleans at all. So you know that Nick Mullins, being that close to where he played college football, I don't know if anybody's going to be traveling with his family or anything like that, or anybody that's going to be close to it, but he's going to be motivated to play against the New Orleans Saints, playing in Hattiesburg all those years. So the Saints better be careful, man, and they better take the San Francisco 49ers very, very serious. This is a good football team. There's a well-coached football team. They're a well-disciplined defense. So the Saints better be ready because the 49ers can take it to them. Okay, so if the Saints handle their business, I'm talking about handle their business, they do what they're supposed to do. I have the Saints winning this game by a score of 34-20. I think that the Saints can win this game 34-20 if the Saints handle up on their business and they don't play around with the 49ers, because I do feel like the 49ers are going to try to throw everything they can at the Saints. You're going to see some trickery. You're going to see some wizardry. But I think the Saints, all in all, are going to be more prepared than the 49ers to get this victory on today. But they cannot, I repeat, cannot play around with the San Francisco 49ers because this team can't beat them, okay? And Kyle Shanahan does a really good job at play calling. So they better take this game really, really seriously. But I want to say thank you all for filing into the chat. Thank you all for checking out the show. If this is your first time, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everybody that watched the last live show I did, one of the highest viewed lives I ever did, and ever. I think we got up to almost 775 people on the live at one time. So thank you all so much for making the State of the Saints podcast so successful. Thanks for all those that checked out my interview with Rod Walker of NOLA.com earlier in the week. And we're just looking forward to giving you all great content here on the State of the Saints podcast. I'm going to read some of these comments that we have in the chat. Your boy Jay says, we have to come out and put our foot on the 49ers' neck and show dominance. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, you cannot play around with this team. People just looking at these guys on paper, and that kind of bothers me, man, because, when we go back a couple weeks ago, we see the New Orleans Saints taking on the Detroit Lions. And, Detroit probably seen the Saints. They're like, well, no Lattimore, no Jenkins, no Michael Thomas. Like, man, we're gonna act a fool in this game, and the Saints went out there and scored 35 straight points on them, even though the Lions went up 14-0. So you can't look at paper and just be like, oh man, this is gonna be a dominant game. This is gonna be one of those games where the Saints just gonna take these guys to the woodshed. This is a prideful football team. Okay, this is a prideful football team that's going into the Superdome, that's believing that they can beat the New Orleans Saints. And the Saints can't just think that, 49ers going to look at them and be like, oh, man, they dominated the Buccaneers. Like, they don't care about that, man. They think they can beat the Saints, and the Saints better understand that, and they better stop playing around with the 49ers team. They better do something They better do something out there today, and they better try to do everything they can to try to make sure they get this victory. No doubt about that. Carolina is not helping us. Well, I'm not looking for the Carolina Panthers to help us. I'm not looking for that. The Saints need to handle their own business, Jerry. I don't care about the Carolina Panthers Tampa Bay game. If the Saints continue to win, then, they shouldn't have any problems. That's something that we have been doing over the past couple of years. The Saints haven't been handling their business on their part, which caused them 1 and 2 seeds, playing in a wild card round. You got to handle your business. You got to do what you need to do in order for you to win the football game. You can't be looking and be watching TV and be like, man, I hope they lose. Like, man, bump all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing today. I don't know what the score was. I think the last time I checked, it was like 20-17 or something, but besides that, man, I'm not looking or caring about either one of those teams. I think the Saints need to handle their business. They need to go out there and they need to beat the 49ers, and you won't have a problem, okay? You control your own destiny right now. You control the narrative. So if you go out there lollygagging around, you're going to lose. If you go out there and you do what we seen you do against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you play disciplined football, you play good complementary football, then you won't have to worry about any of those teams. So I'm not too concerned about that, and neither should the Saints. We not worried about Carolina. We good. We need to worry about the Saints. I agree. Last year, the first Atlanta game, we were sleepwalking and got our kicked. We can't be playing around with these teams. Yeah, Big Herb, I agree with that. We can't look at records and be like, oh man, this is going to be a win. I think sometimes the Saints' biggest Achilles heel is the fact that I feel like they play down to their competition. They play down to their competition and they end up losing. They end up losing because, I don't know if they look at television or they're looking at analytics or they're looking at Pro Football Focus or they're looking at the injury report. They're looking at the actives and inactives. But look, those guys line up on the other side of the football. They come into town or you go into their town, and these guys have a winning ambition. So you got to do what you got to do, man. And I don't want to hear any excuses, this is one of the best football teams in the league. And as long as they show it every single week, we shouldn't have a problem. And we shouldn't have to be watching other people's football games so they can decide the fate of the New Orleans Saints, So I'm going to go ahead and put the link down in the comments. So if you want to call in, feel free to do so. Keen Arthur says, what up, TJ? We better not come out here with an arrogant mindset, or we will find ourselves in a close game or possibly losing. Yeah, that's something that they can't come out there doing, But I think that the Saints kind of learned their lesson. I mean, over the last 3 years, I mean, if you haven't learned your lesson by now, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the Saints have had opportunities. We know about that Week 8 matchup, a couple years ago against the Rams, they won. We know about last season, Week 9, versus the 49ers, and they lost. And we've seen how that cost them, a first-round bye, and we've seen how we were constantly looking at what Green Bay was doing. Or we was constantly looking at, what Seattle was doing or what the 49ers were doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be like that anymore. Control your own destiny, control your own fate, and stop worrying about what other teams are doing. Then you wouldn't have that issue.
Ramsey, what's up, PJ?
What's going on, Ramsey? How you doing, man?
Good. I couldn't get my PS5 at launch day. That was chaotic.
Oh yeah, man. I heard a lot of people had that issue. I seen on social media. People been asking about the PS5. So, man, hopefully, once everybody, I guess they get that nostalgia out of the system and stuff like that, and people start going crazy, then maybe people will start being able to get one. But
yeah, hopefully,
yeah,
good. Watching the Panthers get destroyed by Tampa.
Oh, what's the score of the game right now?
26-17.
Oh, okay, all right. That game was tied at halftime, so yeah, they didn't broke out, but. Like I said, Ramsey, you got to control your own destiny. I mean, the Saints have a game against the 49ers today, so if they win, they don't have to worry about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hopefully we do.
Yeah. So what do you think about this game today, Saints versus 49ers?
I think if our defense shows up, we could win.
Right.
We cannot be lackluster.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Like you said last week, if our team plays the way they did, no one can beat us.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, if they play motivated, they should be able to win. Like if they just go out there with the same mindset they had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they should be fine. You have a score prediction?
Not really. It's gonna be a tight one. I'll maybe say 26-20.
Okay. All right, man. It's like a
I did get Morales though. Great game.
Okay, well that's good, man. So would you recommend anybody that's a fan of Spider-Man? Would you recommend them getting it?
Yes, if you're looking for a great story, beautiful soundtrack that fits Miles' personality, absolutely. Even on the PS4, the graphics still look amazing.
Wow. Yeah, man.
So
though a lot of people
it does crash time and time again because that power on that game is a bit too strong time and time again. But it runs smoothly overall.
Okay. Well, that's dope, man. I know a lot of people are excited about that, Rams, and they glad that you gave a positive review to it. So, and thank you so much for calling in, man. And hopefully I'll hear from you after the game.
All right.
All right, you take it easy, man. Enjoy the game.
You too.
All right. And shouts out to Ramsey, man. I mean, a lot of people were asking about that new Spider-Man game. I don't know how many gamers are on the State of Saints podcast, but a lot of people are interested in that game. So Ramsey gave it a positive review. Jerry, what's going on?
What's going on, TJ Jones, the host?
Yes, sir.
Of the State of the Saints podcast. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right, Jerry. Just ready and excited for a good football game, man. So what do you think about this game?
Well, first off, like you were saying earlier, ain't nobody studying the Carolina Tampa Bay game. Besides, just looking at it right now, it's now 29-17 Tampa Bay. So I ain't worrying about that. I thought Carolina was gonna beat them. That'll give us a bigger edge when we take care of the 49ers on today.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not concerned about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just think that. I think that the Carolina Panthers, I think they're just learning how to win, man. They're a young football team, young coaching staff, young front office. So their better days are ahead of them, So, I mean, they play everybody tough. I mean, we see the game against the Chiefs last week. They were in that game. And I don't think that game I still don't think that game over in Carolina, So, I mean, I still feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they better continue to, to push that ball and continue to be aggressive because, I mean, Carolina, they have a never say die attitude. It's hard to beat that team, man. So what do you think about the game today? What do you think about the game today?
Well, TJ, if the defense step up just like they did last week against Tom Brady and the Bucks, I think we're gonna have a pretty decent game on today. If the defense just keep doing what they're doing and stop these 49ers and like last time, score fast, drive down the field fast, score as many points as you can, because we don't know what these 49ers got up their sleeve, like I said earlier, because even though they banged up with injuries, we still don't know what they got in their pocket.
Right. Yeah, like I said, Kyle Shanahan does a really good job at offensive innovation. So it's just as good as Sean Payton is calling plays. Kyle Shanahan is good. You know, I mean, he is above average. You know what I'm saying? He like top of the food chain. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people talking about him choking in Super Bowl games, but when it comes to him, like calling plays, like he up there with Sean Payton, man. And I know last year, I mean, he gave Dennis Allen fits. So they better take this game serious, man. No doubt about that. You got a score?
Yes, sir. I got a score. I got the Saints winning this game. Let's say if the offenses be hot like they are, let's say 42-14.
Okay. I mean, you think gonna be domination?
I mean, they scored 38 points last week, so they can add 4 more points on today if they can. But as long as the Saints win this game, I mean we'll still be in first place in the division. So like you said, we ain't got to worry about Tampa Bay. We'll worry about them later. We focus on right now. Right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as the Saints handle their business, they shouldn't have an issue, Jerry. That's what my focus is. I'm not looking at any other team because, like, to be honest with you, we shouldn't. You know, we're the number 1 seed right now in the NFC, and as long as the Saints continue to win, then we don't have to look at other games and hope that other teams lose. So hopefully we can continue with this type of momentum, and we don't have to worry about that. The Saints can control their own destiny. But Jerry, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Get that phone call, man.
Yeah. Well, it'll go to voicemail. I'll get to answer
it later. You take it easy, man. Enjoy the game.
All right, man. I'll holler at you later. You too.
Take care. Yeah, man. Jerry had to pick up that phone, man, for his woman get mad at him. Why Harris? Thank you very much for the $5. Says enjoy your show, man. Keep up the good work. Why Harris, thank you so much for the donation. I really do appreciate that, my friend. Read a few more of the comments because I don't want to neglect the comments, even though I'm taking calls. Candace says, I have been playing the PS5 for a couple of days and I love it. But that's good. You know, I've been hearing some very positive reviews from it. I know there's some games that haven't come out with next-gen technology just yet. So I know a lot of people are probably waiting for those games to come out before they go to the store and try to get a PS5. But I've heard nothing but positive reviews, man. You know, I heard nothing but positive reviews so far. And, you know, hopefully, you know, I'll be able to get one down the line. Like I said, right now, my primary focus is, you know, just trying to move, man. You know, got my house coming soon. You know what I'm saying? I'll be moving in there in January. So my focus has been trying to, you know, take the little bit of money that I have and trying to put for it, you know, to furnish in that. So once that gets situated, then I'll probably go out there and get a PS5. But family priorities are first. Jessica says Saints going to win. Okay, Jessica, I like that positive attitude. Brett says PS5, I want one. I think a lot of people want one, Brett. BDP says everyone lives that new stuff. Loves that new stuff. I think that's what you're saying. Fisher Young Nola says, Candace, you got it. The 5. Yeah, it looks like she does. Says she's enjoyed playing it. Toss K says, what up, TJ? It's hard to prepare for an offense like ours, too many weapons, if that makes sense. Well, I can't think of the defensive coordinator on the 49ers side, you know, but that guy's a really good defensive coordinator, and a lot of people have him up as being a head coach of a football team. So, you know, this guy's going to be prepared for this game. You know what I mean? So I don't want to just think that the Saints are just going to come up in there and just steamroll over those guys. I just don't see that. And plus, they had a bad showing against the Green Bay Packers, so you know they're going to want to play a lot better than they did last week. Brian, what's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, man. What you got for me, man? Talking about the game today.
Well, I got that they should have played like this all year, the way they played last week. When Michael Thomas came back, they started playing better. When Michael Thomas wasn't there, they played like a bunch of high school kids.
Right.
I mean, they should have played. Michael Thomas comes back. He's like the leader of the team.
Right.
I think the score is going to be 28-10.
Okay, 28-10. That's a really good score.
If they play like this all year, rest of the year, they win the Super Bowl. If they don't, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah. I'm interested just to see Quinn Alexander today. I know he said that he's going to play today, going up against his former team. And as far as what you said about Michael Thomas, that goes to show you how important Michael Thomas is to this offense, because him being so good, he demands a double team, and that just calls for the other guys to win their one-on-one matchups, and they can be successful. So I think while Michael Thomas coming back, I think the offense looks a lot better because he's out there.
When they played last week, I'm like, what kind of team is this?
Right.
I ain't seen this team in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said it's like it makes you mad, watching them last week, because you're wondering like what his team been at all season. But hopefully they can play this way all for the rest of the season. With the games they have left, and they'll be able to keep that number 1 seed, Brian. So I appreciate the call, man. Hopefully call back after the show if you get a chance.
Yep.
After the game, excuse me. All right, take it easy, man. Yeah. Shouts out to Brian, man. We're gonna go on to Who That Davis, man. Who That Davis, what's going on, man?
One and only, highest to going, TJ. He'll be doing football Sunday. Watching the boys get blown out here in the NFC South.
Yeah. I mean, what's the score of the game right now? Is it still 26-17?
It's 29-17. I think the Bucs are getting ready to settle for a field goal. Fourth quarter about to come up.
Okay, man. So, like I said, man, I didn't even watch the game. You know what I'm saying? I was watching on Red Zone. It took me a little nap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really been watching football. I kind of woke up probably for the second half of football game just to check out the scores. But I ain't really been. I mean, honestly, I ain't really concerned, man. Like I'm more focused on this game today. So, your opinion, Who That Davis? What's your keys to victory for the New Orleans Saints?
It's got to start with the secondary. This 49ers team may be banged up, but the offensive line is still one of the better half of the offensive line so far in the league this season. They're keeping I forgot the name of their starting quarterback for the game. Nick Mullins. But besides Nick Mullins having some terrible reads and decision makings on his throws, the offensive line is giving him a lot of time. From 2 seconds to 3 seconds. At most, I've seen him able to maneuver the pocket, give extend drives. So it's got to be on secondary on can they win their matchups? Can they play this young and injured receiving core of the 49ers like they did against the Bucs last week? You guys, it's got to start there. The pressure up front. This defensive line is healthy even without Sheldon Rankins. So Malcolm Roach is having a good start to his tenure here with the Saints. Can he win up front? Can he get pressure? Can the edges of Trey Hendrickson, Marcus Davenport, even Carl Granderson, they have to be able to share the well. They have to be able to eat. And biggest question mark of this game is linebacker Quinn Alexander. We know he's going to be able to. We know he's going to get some snaps on the defensive side of the ball, taking away some of that load from a questionable Alexander Loney, who's been having a little bit of suspect year. Yeah, can he have an impact on his game since he knows the 49ers offense so well, since he's played against them in practices and training camps, so on and so forth? Can he stay healthy going forward this season? What kind of statement will he make? That's one of the biggest in the second level. The next thing I'm going to take away from this is continued sharing of the wealth on the offensive side of the ball. Right. We've seen Drew Brees go to 12 different receivers last week against this supposedly great, one of the greatest defenses in the NFL against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's still having a suspect game against this Carolina offense. Right. Can they continue to share the wealth with all these weapons coming back healthy? That's the biggest continuity right now is healthy. The only question mark on this game is running back Dwayne Washington, who hurt his back during the Wednesday practice. So the Saints have the leverage. They should win this game. but we know this team. They know they play down to their competition, and we know that they lose games they should win. Can they make another statement here and win the games they're supposed to win going forward? Because if they lose to 49ers today, it's going to be this up and down thing,
Yep.
just like Tampa Bay, and then that's absolutely unacceptable.
Right.
Sean Payton, Dennis Allen, you set a high standard last week. You made an emphatic statement. The entire country is watching you now. Can you have a repeat performance? If you cannot have a repeat performance, you're going to have a lot of heat come down on you, not just from the sports media, but from the Who Dat Nation.
Right. Yeah, because I
and
mean,
special teams.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. I almost neglected special teams. I think the key to winning this game is going to have to come from special teams because we already know what the defense is capable of. We know what the offense is capable of. But Dwayne Washington having a back injury is going to be a little bit of a mild to a pretty big impact because he may not be talked about a lot, but he's able to get back to the punter and force those blocks and force those field goal those kick blocks. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. But he's able to get key blocks on the edge to spring Deontay Harris or Marquez Callaway like he did against the Chargers when Marquez Callaway was getting punts back there. Right. The special teams is going to have to come in a big way like they did last year against this 49ers team.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game. You know, last year I don't think a lot of people gave this guy's credit, but one of the main unsung heroes of that game, if the Saints would have won, was Deontay Harris. His ability to flip the field. I mean, the Saints were starting like on the other side of the 50 on the 40-yard line for most of the game, especially like when they went up. I think it was up like 27-14 or something like that. It's because Deontay Harris was flipping the field. So I just think that if they just play disciplined football, man, they don't go up in there, you know, playing around with the 49ers. Like I said, I think the 49ers are a prideful team. But if they go and they do what they need to do, if we're talking about the best on the best, 49ers best versus the Saints best, it's not even close. If they play the game that they played last week, or they play more motivated. So I honestly don't think that the Saints are going to play down to their competition. Like if you're after all the things you endured over the last 3 to 4 years and you still have to be motivated because nobody's picking you or everybody's saying that you're gonna lose. Like if you still got to go through that, then maybe you're not a good football team, or maybe you're not the team we expect you to be. Which I don't think that we have an issue with that. So I think they're gonna get the victory today. Who that, Davis? Do you have a score?
Yeah, I have the Saints winning a pretty comfortable a 33-20.
Right. Okay. Interesting score right there, man. Thank you for your take, man, and enjoy the game.
Oh, one more thing before I go. Starting tonight, test streams for the State of Black and Gold starts tonight. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I have my first episode Wednesday. I'm going to have the WDN chat line as my first guest.
Okay.
And for my second guest, I'm hoping to have Mr. TJ Jones, a host, the second guest on the State of Black and Gold. I'll hit you on Twitter on extra details, man.
Oh, man, look, you know I'm there, bro. Like I said, anything you need, anything I can do to help, man, just feel free to hit me up, bro. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. Looking forward to that. State of Black and Gold coming soon, man. And everybody excited about that, man. So keep up the good work. Enjoy the game, and hopefully I'll hear from you at the end.
Yeah. Who that, man? I'll be here for post game.
All right, man. Sounds good. Who that, Davis? Man, shouts out to my guy, man. Y'all make sure y'all support his podcast coming out, State of the Black and Gold. As y'all can see, man, the brother knows his football, a really knowledgeable guy. So, man, y'all be on the lookout for that. Let's go to the Truth Hurts. Truth Hurts, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, TJ? How you doing?
Going all right, man. Really excited. Hopefully we get a good football game today. So what do you think about it?
Well, first off, before I get into the game, I want to talk about a little bit about the PS5. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good graphics and things about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to get me one either. I'm just trying to get situated with my wife and get my wife a few things before I get that. Because like you said earlier, family come first, family priorities come first before
absolutely, man.
You know that.
Absolutely.
But as far as this game go today, and before I get into that, I'm not the type of guy to overlook an opponent, no matter who's on the field. But Because I'm all about treating every quarterback like, Tom Brady, the great Joe Montana, John Elway, Steve Young, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, you name it.
Right.
But I mean, if the Saints go out there and put on a performance on a defense like they did last week, I don't see this game being close because our offense, we getting healthy, we got our weapons back. Our offense is like, Jaws the Revenge. We like those sharks in the water. We know how to peak at the right time. And it seems like, late October, November, that's when our offense really started to click. And, we go on these longer winning streaks. Even though last year I forgot what week it was when we lost to Atlanta at home. I don't know what that was all about. But if we just go out there and, don't overlook this team and just go out there and win and just do what we capable of doing. I'm going with a score of, I'm going pretty big. I can see a who dat win 48-9. Wow. If the defense shows up. I think the Saints, they going to show people, hey, they for real. You guys been doubting us talking about Tampa Bay, but like you said earlier, you and other homeboys said, I'm not even worried about what Carolina can't do to Tampa Bay. I'm not even worried about that because we control our own destiny. We number one in our conference, plus we already swept Tampa Bay. Right. So all we got to do is just control our own destiny, and I think we should be okay, and not get ahead of ourselves.
Right. Like I said, if it's all about controlling your own destiny. If you go out there and you handle your business, you don't have to be looking at none of these other football games. And like you say, you shouldn't take any team for granted. Like I'm looking at the Red Zone channel right now. The Green Bay Packers are losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. So they were like the 3 seed. So any team could beat any other team on any given Sunday if they don't go out there and being motivated. And exactly. You can talk, and they playing at Lambeau right now. That's a home game, even though I don't think they have many fans out there. So I mean, you got to go out there. You got to be real, man. You got to handle your business. And if the Saints do that, then I don't think there should be an issue, man. But like you said, man, I just think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a close game. And hopefully the Saints prove us right. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much.
All right, TJ, you have a good one, brother. Who that,
man? Take it easy. Yeah, man. If they handle their business, we shouldn't have any issues. If the Saints handle their business, but I will say this: we all know that the Saints have a tendency of making no-name quarterbacks look like they're the second coming of Joe Montana. So hopefully, we don't have anything like that go on today. Like it's always this guy that nobody even knows, a guy that nobody even heard of. He comes into the game and he throws for 4 touchdowns, 350 yards. So I'm looking at, hold on, let me see who got the ball right now. I'm looking at this Tampa Bay game on the red zone. They up 32-17. It looks like, Carolina had the ball there on the goal line. Looked like a big play happened on special teams. So looked like their special teams got them down to the goal line. So like I said, man, I mean, Carolina Panthers, they still learning how to win. They're a young football team. And I just think their better days are ahead of them. I think they got the right coach in Matt Rule. He's going to build a good team. He already got like a good positive attitude, and I think his players like him a lot. So they're going to want to play hard for him. So, but I'm not really concerned about if they can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or not. So, Twin Deuce the Ball says, Super Bowl, all we have to do is keep the same defense from last week, and I don't see anyone beating us. Well, it's all a part of scheming too. I think that we need to understand this, that Sean Payton is a better head coach than Bruce Arians is. Bruce Arians is not, the creme de la creme of head coaches. I just think that he get a name for himself because, he was the quarterback's coach of Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger and stuff like that, and Carson Palmer and, and I think Andrew Luck. So he gets like this, I guess like he gets this nod because he was a good quarterback whisperer or whatever. But as far as head coaching, I wouldn't put him in the same room with Sean Payton. And I think people need to understand, like, coaching matters, man. Having your team prepared to go up against the competition matters. And even though I think that Bruce Arians is a good coach, I mean, average, you know what I'm saying? Like middle of the pack. So I do think that the Saints have a competitive edge over that. And no disrespect to Todd Bowles, who is a good defensive-minded coach, but I still think that Sean Payton's a better coach than he is. And Byron Leftwich, who is young as an offensive coordinator, I think his better days are ahead of him. So I just think the Saints have a better coaching staff. Teddy Bridgewater just scored. So, like I said, that game is, that game is not over by a long shot. I mean, the Buccaneers better continue to, push the ball. Somebody want me to put the link into the chat. All right, I'll put the link in the chat. So some more people call in if they want to. Let's see. Dane, let me see. Who is this? Dane, he did, didn't he? I don't know exactly what that means. One possession game. Yeah, man, I'm just tired of all these excuses for the Buccaneers. First, when the Buccaneers lost to the Saints, it was Tampa Bay preseason. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, like, they reached their stride, everybody picking them as Super Bowl contenders. Oh, they for real. Nobody gave the Saints a chance. And now when the Saints, like, completely dominated those guys, it was more so what Tampa didn't do, more so than what the Saints did. So, I don't know, man. It just seems like to me, like the media and everybody else just want the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to work so bad. Like, they want them to work so freaking bad that, they'll just do anything. Like, now if they beat Carolina today, now all of a sudden, they back in the Super Bowl hunt. It was a little hiccup. Antonio Brown just got there. Like, man, knock it off, man. Knock it off. We're going to go to Rudy. Rudy, what's going on?
How's it again, TJ?
Hey, how you doing?
It's great to be back.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you on the show again, man. So we're talking about the game today. So what you got for us?
Well, I think that one of the key to the games today is we need to take it one down at series at a time, but also one game at a time. Otherwise, we get the crap knocked out of us if we're not careful.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You got to take these games serious, man. And like I said, you can't look at who they got on the field. You got to go out there, you got to line up, and you got to put on your best performance, man. Or this could easily like be one of those games where we're so frustrated at the outcome or how close the game is or how nip-it-tuck it is. So, so what do you think about the score? What do you think the score is going to be in this game?
The Carolina Bucks game, or
I'm talking about the Saints game.
I'm trying to keep it within the realm of reality. So I think it's going to be anywhere from 35 to 38 to about 28.
Okay.
Saints.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My wife walked in the room. Hey, wife.
I don't. It's because I don't want to have a repeat what happened last year, the first game against the Falcons.
Yeah.
When we got our butts handed to us 29.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, long as they take this game serious, as long as they take it serious, I think they should be okay. I don't want them to be playing around with the 49ers.
No, I agree. Now, I will say this, though. Now, speaking of which, I do agree we have one of the best defensive lines in the league.
Right.
But it's not just the fact that our stars are great. We got some good backup, too.
Yeah.
Especially in Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that dude been putting in work.
Yep. Yeah, man. Third in the league in sacks right now. 7.5 sacks. I've been telling people, I told people since week one, I said that Trey Hendrickson is really good. And I think when everybody wanted Jadeveon Clowney at that time, I'm like, the Saints have Trey Hendrickson. And people kind of scoffed and rolled their eyes. But I'm like, man, this dude is good.
I mean, I seen a highlight of him like the other day of him against one of the Tampa Bay games. This dude literally got off just like a split second before the ball was snapped.
Right.
If it was any earlier, y'all been offside, but that dude got a quick get off the ball.
Yeah. Like, man, he reminds me a lot of like Jared Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like Jared Allen, he played for the Chiefs and he played for the Vikings for quite some time, man. He was like really, really good. He reminds me a lot of that guy. You know what I'm saying? And also, he has like a really good first step and he's getting better. So I think he's so good right now. I don't think that he's going to come back to the Saints. I think somebody's going to pay him a lot of money to play for their team next season. So he's going to be he's going to be like one of those guys that probably going to be like the top pass rusher in the league like next year if he ends up going somewhere else, man. So and
I just want to say this, like we haven't Saints as an organization as a whole has a knack for finding nobodies and using them to the full extent,
Right.
And as well, hold on. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say this, but we do have to be. And when it comes to Tampa Bay being like being the Super Bowl contender from the media, I'm like, to be honest, I'd rather have because I'd rather have the Saints as a whole because the whole is better than the sum of its parts.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
You have weapons on weapons, but what's the point if you can't utilize them?
Right.
If you have the tools necessary that you've been equipped with to utilize such tools.
Right.
It's all good to have a great quarterback and great wide receivers, but if you don't have an offensive line and a decent line that can produce, not worth it.
Yep. I mean, you can have all the weapons in the world, like you said. You know, football is different from basketball. Like in basketball, you have like 2 or 3 weapons. It can work. You know what I'm saying? It can work because you have all these, you know, these guys because they kind of complement each other, and you can win championships like that. But in football, it's about chemistry. You know what I'm saying? You know, and how it gels and how it clicks. Like you got to have not only the right players on the team, you got to have the right play caller because, man, you got to feed these guys and you got to make sure that you put these guys in position to succeed. And the reason why we're talking about these players for the Saints, Rudy, is because Sean Payton does a really good job getting these guys, you know, good matchups, you know, in order for them to make plays.
And also, I'd like to echo echo what you said about Sean Payton, like getting in chemistry because he during those 7 or 9 years, he realized, wait, this is a bad locker room. Let's clear all the garbage and come back in with some good chemistry.
Right.
Because if you're gonna be a good team player in the locker room, you're gonna be a team player on and off the field.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, we all know about the locker room they had. I think maybe like from like 2014, no, like 2013 or 2016. We know about those bad apples. They even got to a point. Drew Brees was even thinking about retiring because of some of the things that was going on. So
it was that bad.
Good job to them. You know what I'm saying? They go from having a bad locker room to the best locker room, you know. So they got good leadership in there and not just Drew Brees. I mean, you have so many other guys that's going to be top leaders once Drew Brees decides to hang up the cleats that can be positive leaders in the community as well as on the field too, like Demario Davis, Cam Jordan. So good job to them, you know, making sure they put the right pieces in place. And also you talked about getting these undrafted free agents and these undrafted rookies. I mean, that's Jeff Ireland, you know, the assistant general manager who's head of scouting. So good job by him getting these guys in here that can produce for this team.
Now, I have seen some videos of them partying in the locker room. Like, shoot, I probably do that even when they lose, you know?
Yeah, right. I mean, basically, they party all the time. But Rudy, thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, TJ. It's great for having me.
All right, no problem, man. Take care. We're going to go on. We're going to go to Iceman. Iceman, what's going on, man?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Iceman, what's going on?
Oh, man, I'm excited. I ain't going to be on here long. I just wanted to come here with a couple points real quick. First thing is, man, a couple things to look for. All things point to it. In all honesty, we should win this game.
Yeah.
There's no reason, no excuse, there's nothing you can show me to why we should lose this game. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one.
Right.
Number two, I just wanted to see how we're going to keep that same energy.
Right.
That's really just what I want to see. Like, are we going to come with the same intensity like how we did for the Buccaneers?
Right.
You know, because you got to play with that same intensity no matter who it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, the last caller was right, and the caller before was right. You know what I'm saying? We do have an act to play down to our competition.
Yeah.
You know, and look no further than the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know, we made the Raiders look like world beaters, and it really wasn't. You know, so we just got to make sure that we keep that. And then the last thing is Sean Payton. We know how Sean Payton feels about Shanahan. It's proven. This is one of the coaches that he allows to get under his skin, get him over emotional, and have him, like how he said last year, get him out of the flow of the game.
Right.
I don't know what Sean's problem is, but he coached excellent last week.
Yeah.
But he can't let Shanahan get under his skin. It's him, people like Shanahan, Zimmer, McVay, those coaches, I don't know what it is, but when they go against Sean, he just seems to want to pound his chest or whatever.
Right. Well, I look at Sean Payton. I mean, we all know that he has an ego. We all know that he considers himself one of the best offensive minds in football. So, and we can tell by like the way he motivates his team. I mean, they often say like a team is a representation of their coach. So when the Saints are like motivated and they back against the wall and being known as underdogs, then all of a sudden, they go out there and they play hard. I feel like he coaches hard. You know what I'm saying? When he feels like he's being put on a back burner. So, but I don't know, man. Kyle Shanahan is just as good as him. I would even like go a little further. I think Kyle Shanahan in some ways is an even better play caller than he is. Because Kyle Shanahan, for the exception like some championship games, you know what I'm saying? Like we can talk about that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like some of his decision making down the stretch, but he does what he needs to do in order for him to win. He's not afraid to run the football a million times. He's not afraid to throw the football, and he's definitely not afraid to try to dial up some exotic play, but he has a pulse on how to do that. Sean Payton, the Saints can be like 3rd and 1. And all of a sudden here come a triple reverse. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Right, right. Just unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think that he does have an ego ice, man. I mean, look, I think anybody that don't believe that Sean Payton has an ego at this stage, 15 years into it, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So, I mean, he wants to beat these guys. Yeah.
I get it. He has an ego. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, you got to realize that you can't keep letting these coaches get under your skin and make you want to coach your team out of winning the ball game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
right.
In all seriousness, I just want him to coach the right way because I know he can do it. I seen him do it in the Detroit Lion game. He ran the ball 40 times. Let's get Latavius. I said on Big Q podcast, I said, I want to see Latavius Murray get 25 carries. I don't see what's wrong with that. I say let him pound the ball down the 49ers all game long. I don't see what's wrong with that. Let's save Drew Brees' shoulder for when we really need it in a playoff run. And so that's just a couple things that I was looking at. Just what Sean Payton are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the cute Sean Payton that want to beat on his chest and try to, throw the ball all over the place, or are we gonna get, the coach that how we motivated his team and galvanized the troops last week? Last person I'm looking at is Marshawn Lattimore, bro. I want to see what that dude do, man. So.
Yeah, I mean, but these last 2 games he played in, the one against the Bears, and we all know he plays, man, like he, what I'm saying, like the most elite cornerback in football when he go against Tampa Bay. So these last 2 games he has played in, man, I mean, it's probably his best 2 games in his rookie season. So hopefully, like I say, he can continue this momentum that he has. So hopefully, we, I don't know, man, we get some positive, not just by him, man, but the entire secondary. I mean, I think Janoris Jenkins, I think that was his best game last week. You know what I'm saying? Like him guarding Antonio Brown. I think he did really well. Malcolm Jenkins, without saying, man, that definitely was his best game back. So
yes, indeed.
If they can continue like this momentum, man, like if they can continue this momentum, man, the sky's the limit for this team, Ice, man. So, I mean, I'm just taking it one game at a time. I mean, we've been down this road before, so I'll just take it one game at a time, man.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, man. But thanks for taking my call, TJ, man.
All right, no problem, Ice, man. Take care, man. Enjoy the game.
Yeah. All right, who that?
And shouts out to Ice, man. I mean, look, I can understand people's skepticism. You know what I'm saying? I can understand that. I hope this wasn't just an anomaly that we seen last week. I hope that the Saints I hope they can build off this momentum. Quinn, what's going on?
Hello.
Yeah, Quinn, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
I can hear you, man.
All right. I got a question for you. So, what you think the score gonna be? How you think they're gonna go out?
What did I say? I said what? I said 38-20 or something like that. I had 38-20.
Why you think that?
The reason why I feel like that is because I'm looking at it last year, and I'm looking at the combination of the Saints kind of being up for this game. They number one, when they go up against teams, they feel like they kind of wronged them. They kind of play at a higher level. You know what I'm saying? That game was really exciting last year. The Saints didn't have an issue with moving the football offensively. And I think about some of the weapons that may be missing. The most important position is the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a quarterback that's coming in as a backup, you might see some struggles. He's a backup for a reason. So that's the reason why I feel like the Saints can get 38 points. And I just think that Nick Mullins, who I feel like probably going to play pretty well, I think that it's not going to be enough. So that's the reason why. But if it was like if Garoppolo was in this game, I would have it closer than what it is.
And see, that was what I was about to tell you. You talking about last. You can't talk about last year because everybody who gave us problems last year not playing. And one of the problems is on our team now.
Right.
One of the main people was killing us was Sanders. We got him. Right. You know, and then Debo not playing, so we straight. I think this one of them games where we just stacking up on our leaderboard. Like this like Trey Hendricks and Cam Day to get their racks up. You know, they got a backup quarterback. He not doing nothing, bro. Like, that man ain't about to do nothing. Like my score, I think it'll be like 30 and up, bro. It depends on how Sean called the game, but I think it's gonna be 30. I think it'll be 30 and up, and I think they'll have I think the 49ers probably score about. They probably get them some garbage time touchdowns, so they probably get like 14, bro. The most. If they play like how they supposed to, I ain't even talking about from last week. I'm just talking about in general. They just played they ball, bro. Them folks gonna blow them folks out. It's not going to even be one of them games.
Okay.
I think everybody keep worrying about Tampa Bay so much because of the name who they got over there. And y'all worrying about Tom Brady. Y'all not even worrying about the Bucs. Y'all just saying Tom Brady because. I mean, y'all keep saying the Bucs because of Tom Brady. Y'all not even looking at the whole season. I think that's the problem with everybody who been saying that. Like every time you get on, somebody keep talking about the Buccaneers. Like what they gotta do with nothing. We ain't never worried about them before.
Right.
You know, so it's like just because they got a name, because the Timber, if you be honest, when you think about the Buccaneers, is built off names. Like everybody on their team just off a name, so you automatically thinking they gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the nostalgia aspect of it, Quinn.
Yeah,
you know, think about I think about a couple of years ago, like when the Saints signed Champ Bailey, right? I mean, we know about Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey was incredible in Washington. He was incredible for the Broncos, and he was in the twilight of his career. He came to New Orleans. All of a sudden, like everybody was just so excited that we have him, but he wasn't the player that he once was. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a name on the back of the jersey that people like kind of get wild up for. But I think it's that and a combination of people being ticked off because, you know, Tampa Bay hasn't been nothing all these years. Then all of a sudden they get Tom Brady and now they're getting all the press clippings. And they haven't done anything, you know?
That's why I think this year is going to be the most dangerous year for everybody else in the league, bro, because I think this is going to be the year we show everybody what's going on.
Right.
You know, that's even like I just listened to the interview Drew just did. He did a call in. And he was saying, like, I feel like he planned it based off him going to the Super Bowl. I don't really think he gonna retire. No, I feel like he'll really stay. I just think how he'll have his thing set up next year. Like, say we don't win the Super Bowl or something this year, right? I think if he come back next year, I think that's what he's gonna do. I feel like he's gonna start splitting the snaps, and they gonna keep him. They put him in the game more when they need him more than just have him on every snap. I think that's how they should do it next year if he come back, so you can really rest his arm and let him come out when he want to come out. You get what I'm saying? Have him stay on the field all day.
All right. Well, me personally, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Your phone. I mean, your signal going in and out.
Wait, I knew it was messing up.
No, I can hear you now. I can hear you. Just go ahead.
Well, like I was saying, like that's like next year. I mean, not next. Well, yeah, like next year. That's like say if Tom Brady say if Tom Brady don't win this year, right? Don't win. Right. He don't make it to the playoffs or nothing. What I think is gonna wind up happening, I feel like I think he's gonna retire before Drew because of that. Because I feel like nobody gonna want him after that. If they see he can't win right now with everybody he got, especially if this the first time he had all these name brand type of people on his team, and he still ain't winning. You still didn't win nothing. Then I feel like people would give up on him more. But I think right now they trying to give him and Drew a thing now just because he came out here. He knew he was doing because he could have went to the Chargers, bro, if he really wanted to. Yep. You know, and so it's like. you can tell it was all planned for him to come out here to think he gonna do something to show everybody who the real GOAT is, quote unquote. But I feel like what's gonna happen is I feel like Drew gonna really show off something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that Drew Brees is playing some of the best football he's played in years. I think if you combine what they were missing for the last couple of weeks, him playing with undrafted free agents and undrafted rookies and having those guys out there contributing. I mean, Marquez Callaway, I mean, I watched him at Tennessee, but for this guy to come in at his first start and have 8 catches for 75 yards, I can't see him doing that with a Taysom. I can't see him doing that with a James Winston. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a glorified offensive coordinator. He's like a second offensive coordinator on the field. Right? So, but as far as like next year, I honestly think win, lose, or draw. I think this is gonna be his last season. I really do, man. The way that he's playing, like, man, the way that Drew is playing,
he look too focused.
He just looked too dialed in. He looked too focused.
Yeah,
it's like he said, he's letting it all hang out, and I just feel like it's gonna be his last season. Win, lose, or draw.
I think it got more crazy because of Tom Brady came here, bro. I think that's why I'm saying. I feel like that's the difference. That's why I say I feel like he probably stay even more now just because he here now.
Yeah.
You know.
So you think what you're saying is you think Tom Brady is going to motivate?
Yeah, that's what it got
in his career.
Yeah, cause think about it, bro. You gotta think about it. The Saints gonna definitely pay even harder when they know people sleeping on Drew. Like this that's why they really went hard last week. You think about it, because everybody been saying Tom Brady. They're not saying Drew. So what you think they thinking in their head? Okay, we're gonna have to show y'all who's better. That's like right after the game, they had that interview, and you seen everybody talking about. You seen the team talking about, bro, Drew #1, bro. Like,
yeah, right. That's it.
It's one of them seasons where that's why the game was so crazy last week, because of that. Show you that we got this. This is our time, bro. Don't play with us. This us, right? We own the South. Stop playing. You know.
Yep. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. That's a good point. But give me your score one more time, man. Give me your score one more time.
I'm gonna say 14, and we're gonna have 30 and up. 30 and up. I don't know exactly the number because I see a lot. I can show you the type of touchdowns I can see. I feel like we're gonna have 2 running back touchdowns. I don't know how we're gonna get it, but I know 2 running backs. I don't know who and what, but I know we're gonna have 2 running touchdowns. I feel like Thomas gonna catch them 2.
Right.
And he's gonna be some end zone play. I feel like Jared Cook gonna make up from last week because that's what he normally do.
Right.
He'll get him 1. And after that, I feel like it's gonna be somebody we're not thinking about. Probably Sanders. It'll be good if Sanders get it, but I feel like everybody gonna get a chance to score this game though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay. I mean, I think so, man. I think this can be a game where a lot of people get involved, man. But either way it go, I just hope they win the game. Quinn, thank you so much, man, for the commentary. And what'd you say?
What time you be doing it after the show?
I'll do it immediately following, man. Probably like maybe 5 minutes after the game is over. I'll be on here, man. So if you have time, man, feel free to call back in.
All right.
Take care, man. Yeah, shouts out to Quinn, man. I mean, some very good points that he made. And shouts out to Tim for the $5. Thank you so much. He said, TJ, you know what I realized? Sean Payton is a lot like Marshawn Lattimore. They both need to be pushed before they excel. I hope that changes tonight. Yeah, I mean, Sean Payton to me always has the Saints prepared, but I just feel like sometimes his attention to detail kind of puts him into a corner sometimes. I think that he's a little bit too wild up. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like sometimes like he doesn't call a loose game. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't let the flow of the game kind of dictate the way that he's calling plays. You know, I think that sometimes, like, if he looks at a running play and it's like 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, he won't push the ball down the field. And he doesn't allow the running game to get involved and established. And I just think that if the Saints don't come out the gate running a ball for like 10 yards, 7 yards, 9 yards, all of a sudden he's just going to get away from the running game. So I want them to kind of get away from that. You know, I want him to get away from that. I want him to, be focused on the game itself. If this is a running game, if you feel like the running game will get you more success, fine. And one thing that I liked about the New Orleans Saints last week against the Buccaneers, you didn't really see a lot of halfback tosses. You didn't see a lot of, plays you know what I'm saying, where, you know, they're trying to toss the ball out to Latavius Murray or something. I like that. They understood the way that they run a football was right up the A gaps. And I thought that was where they was going to get their success. And they definitely did that. But Who Dat Nation, is almost game time. We're probably about 20 minutes away from the game. So going to go ahead and wrap it up and say thank you all for checking out the pregame show of the State of the Saints podcast. We will have the State of the Saints podcast post-game show immediately following the game. And also there will be a halftime report. Okay, so we're going to be breaking down the first half of the Saints 49ers game. Hopefully we have some positivity and some positive things to say. But thank you all so much. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, and previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com. Till next time, all I got to say is